Lovely UB40. Now, let's update you on a story we've been following for a number of years now. Yesterday, MPs in Westminster met with the Chagossian community who are campaigning for the right to return to their native homes in the Indian Ocean. In the 1960s and 70s, hundreds of people from Chagos were forced to leave their homeland to make way for a military base on Diego Garcia. Many resettled in Crawley. Well, yesterday afternoon, a Westminster Hall debate was held at which a long-standing consultation into Chagossian resettlement was discussed. Here's how it started.
The interest in this debate reflects widespread concern for the people of the Chagos Islands and a very high level of interest across the world. Many here today have worked tirelessly to highlight the injustices perpetrated upon the indigenous people of the Chagos Islands over many years by a nation state that should, quite bluntly, know better.
Now, that debate was called by Scottish National Party MP Dr. Paul Monaghan, who I spoke to earlier. I began by asking him why he's taken such an interest in the Chagos story.
Because I think that they've been cleared from their islands. I think it's ethnic cleansing. I think the UK government over the last 50 years has trampled all over these people's human rights in very much the same way as people in my own constituency were cleared from their lands in the 18th and 19th centuries in what is now called the Highland Clearances.
And, of course, we learn that Jeremy Corbyn has always been a supporter of revealing this and opening up the debate. So yesterday afternoon, you did have a debate in Westminster Hall, didn't you?
Yes, we did. We had a debate in Westminster Hall about the Chagos Islanders and their resettlement. Jeremy, as you say, is a powerful advocate for their human rights and has been for many years. For many years, in fact, Jeremy was the chair of the all-party parliamentary group on the Chagos Islands, which sits here at Westminster. Jeremy is now the honorary president of that group. So we have to be absolutely clear that this isn't a party political issue. This is a political issue about the human rights of a people and the way that they have been treated by successive UK governments over 50 years. And the abuse is still continuing. As you've said, many of these families were split up. They haven't seen one another for a long, long time. That's partly because when they were expelled from their islands, and since they've been expelled from the islands, many of them have received no compensation and no financial support from the UK government that forced them off their land.
What do you hope to get from this debate? What is the next step? Do you want people to be able to go back to their island? Because having talked to two of the women, they are not allowed to go.
You're absolutely right. They're not allowed to go. What I want, and what many of my colleagues here at the House of Commons want, is the people of Chagos to be allowed to return to their islands on their terms, not on the terms of the UK government. We want the UK government to recognise that they have a right to resettle, and we want the UK government to make sure that they are enabled and facilitated to resettle in a way that will support them and encourage their success in rejuvenating the vibrant society that they once had. Unfortunately, at the moment, the UK government again seems determined not to allow that to happen, and we await with great interest a decision of the Supreme Court, which is imminent, about the Chagos people and their right of resettlement.
So my last question, Dr. Paul Monaghan, is if it's coming up for grabs next year, what do you think the outcome will be, given that you've had this debate?
Well, I think after the debate yesterday, I was slightly disappointed with what the Minister said. I think he was equivocal. I think he was ambiguous. I think the intention of the UK government will be to renew the lease for 20 years and try to come forward with a series of alternative proposals about what they can do with the Chagos Islanders rather than recognise their human rights and allow these people to return to their islands. I approached the Minister at the end of the debate yesterday and I asked for a meeting with him. He agreed to that. So I will meet with the Minister and I will reinforce all of the points that I made yesterday. And we will continue to fight for the rights of the Chagos Islanders because their human rights have been breached here in a catastrophic manner. This reflects very badly not just on the UK government, but the UK Parliament and indeed every single person that lives in the UK.
Now, also at the meeting was Stefan Donnelly, the chair of the UK Chagos Support Association. Morning, Stefan.
Good morning.
Now, why did you get involved in this in the first place?
It was something I've always cared about, and followed the news stories as they came in, as I'm sure you guys do, and I came across the UK Support Association and just started volunteering with them, really, about 2 years ago.
Now, as chair, have you seen more militancy from the Chagossians?
I wouldn't call it militancy. It's, as your last speaker said, it's just a case they want their very basic human rights. They want to be able to live in their homeland in the same way that you or I do, in the same way people in all overseas territories do, like the Falkland Islands, like Gibraltar. They just want those rights, and I think we've seen that yesterday when about 70 Chagossians, at a couple of days' notice, came down to London and sat in on that debate.
Do you think, Stefan, that they will get what they want? I mean, it's 50 years next year, isn't it?
It is, and for that reason, it is the perfect time to end what is, a terrible stain on the nation's reputation, as Jeremy Corbyn said yesterday. Will they get it? That is up to the government, but there is this opportunity now with the agreement on the use of Diego Garcia coming up for renewal. And the UK, as it is still UK territory, can say, if you want to extend this, you have to accept that Chagossians will be allowed back. So I would really encourage them that this is the best time to do it, and I think we're closer than ever before to getting return on fair terms.
And finally, Stefan, what would you ask the rest of the population to do? Are there petitions out there? Is there some kind of... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, there are petitions. You can go to our website, chagossupport.org.uk. You can find all the information on there. You can follow us on Twitter at Chagos UK, on Facebook, and just follow the story. Write to your MP, because this is going to be decided in Parliament. So write to your MP and tell us, I don't want this done in my name. I want this resolved now.
Stefan Donnelly, thank you so very much. And Stefan is chair of the Chagos support group. So if you do want to support their cause, you know where to go.